Don here, back with another live stream. It's been a while, but I have some work on the computers that I need to do, and I thought it would be worth sharing. So let me make sure everything is working over here. That we have sound on the. Oops. It's been so long, I can't remember which buttons does what. Okay. I don't hear any sound over there on my preview. Oh, I know why. I keep trying to. I got my mouse in my hand. I didn't. You have to turn it. You have to turn it on in the YouTube preview window, and then you also. I use the mute and unmute on the front of this laptop too. This Dell 6000 to, But anyway, if you have to initially get it going, and I forgot what I'll have to do. Okay. Now, let me leave it on this camera, and I'm going to get up here and show you my little drink here. My Acer laptop that I set up as my web server won't stay running anymore. It's been just sitting here for about this is it. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna. It's been sitting here just on the charger and it should be. I can't remember if it's a yellow and that blinking light should be green. The other one would probably be green too if it was doing right. I think the battery has worn out. It was the one thing I was worried about using a laptop for a charger because the battery it would last 2 hours and it should last probably 3. It's old. But so I've ran it for 6, 8, 10 months. I don't know, 24/7, and that's the battery. I noticed it was a couple times it didn't start up after the power. Like sometimes when we have a storm, our power will. Luckily, ours doesn't stay out a long time very often, but sometimes it'll just blink off for just long enough to make everything reset. Sometimes it'll be 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. So one of the times it didn't. It never starts back up. You can't set a laptop like you can a desktop. I've always used desktops for my servers, for my web server for years. When did I start? Probably about 06 or 07, running my own web server on different Linux distros and different desktops. But anyway, I decided to use this for less heat. I'll show you what I'm using right now. And this used to be my main desktop machine, and it has everything under the sun on it. It's running. It's got 2 or 3 operating systems on it, but the default is Fedora 14. It's the one I used it all the way up till Fedora 23 because I loved it and I had it all set up the way I wanted it. And it has, of course, it's an older version of Apache and everything, but my website is already on there. All I got to do is turn it on. Right now, I don't even have the video card in it, but you can just boot it up and it'll run the server. I can't see it. I can't control it because I can't see it because the video card. I did a whole bunch of work on it. The fan had died in it, and I put this fan in it. I had bought, and it lasted. I don't know, maybe 6 months, and it's making so much noise, you can't stand it. So I decided I would probably put a heat sink on it. I haven't done that yet, and make it a silent one. I got 3 of those fans for about $2. When my mom's fan went out in her GPU card, on her machine, the box looks just like the one I just showed you, but it's a AMD. That's a dual core Intel. It actually used to be a gateway machine. I'm sorry about the video. Trying to aim it back over here at the. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. I always forget the things I need to do to get where I can work. this box. Okay, maybe this will work. I always think I know and then I don't know. So, yeah. So I wanted to show this. What I'm going to do is, I did this one, I let it run overnight or 2 nights and then it booted up. I think what happens is it gets just enough. I tried running this laptop without the battery. It won't do it. I can't find anything online definitively whether it should or shouldn't. It's just people say, yeah, they should, you know, like on forums, but I couldn't find any real documentation saying that it would or wouldn't run without a battery. I've seen an IBM that ran for years without a battery. You could just take the battery out. The battery was bad, and it actually did. It gave less trouble with the battery out. I don't know. I haven't tried. Well, I've got this Dell 6000, Dell 1525, and this Acer Extensa 4630Z, and it has a broken screen, and the hard drive is almost dead. It's got some bad sectors at the beginning, and I was able to get it working where I can install an operating system, and it's been running just fine on that result case by starting the first partition. I think it was 20 or 40 megabytes in. I think I did 20 megabytes in from the beginning, so the first 20 megabytes are blank. Don't try to write anything to it, excuse me. And it's been doing fine. Of course, it says imminent failure, you know, in the notes and stuff. So what I'm going to do, let's try to boot it up, see if it even will boot up. If it boots up, I'm going to try to hurry up and get into. I had forgotten the last time I messed with it that I have Mate Desktop on this thing, and I just have to log into it from the. Looks like maybe I have to log into it from the terminal. Okay, there's a beep. Still see some green lights up there. And on this one, the trackpad doesn't work. Okay, it's booting up. But it'll get, here's what it'll do. We'll see if it happens. It'll get to where it shows the, all you can see is the top left corner. The rest of this is ruined, you know. But it'll get, and it'll show the, anyway, the keyboard works, the trackpad doesn't work. But I've got a USB video out, VGA out and USB on my KVM switch. Usually it doesn't take this long to show the, you know, the text up here. But I'm not going to touch anything just yet. That's what it does. So it just shuts down. And the more reading I did, the more there were other people saying, well, it could be some worn out electronic components, you know, in these things that'll cause that kind of thing. So I thought, well, okay, if I found, you know, there's only one, there's really, it seems to be only one supplier for batteries. It costs about just under 20 bucks with free shipping from Amazon or Walmart. Same brand, I think, on either place. I think it's probably the same supplier. But, okay, so it won't even boot up. So I thought if it would boot up, and that's after my theory about maybe getting a little charge in the battery, making it boot, you know, might work. Now you can unplug it. See, I can unplug it and plug it back in, and it might boot. So I'll unplug it from the power supply, plug it back in. It might boot, and it probably won't. Seems like if you get it to boot, you better not reboot it. But see, the thing is if it goes down, now see, now it's got a green light here and a yellow light here, and that yellow one is the battery. It might actually boot. It's green back here now. So that resets it, and then those two lights don't come on until it boots up. So I was thinking if it would boot up and run for today, for a few hours, I would, I'm going to go set up my Dell 6000 laptop is running to Bane 8, and I was just going to go ahead and install Apache web server on it and copy my website over to it and stuff, you know, and let that run for a while until I get things set up. I have bought here, well, about 6 months ago, I bought a real HP server. I thought I might put it in the garage and run it as a server and use it remotely from my desktop too. I really want it from my desktop. I want 64 gig of RAM and 2 6-core processors from my desktop. That, you know, I can do all the video editing, anything else I want to do on the thing, you know. This little quad-core Lenovo that I'm using right now to stream from, it just can't hardly keep up with what I want to do, you know. I think it's just going to quit again. For all I know, the hard drive is beginning to give trouble. I can find out if that's the case. Let's see, I've got Fedora 29 Live and Server Edition right here on the USB stick. Okay, boot it up. There you go. See, it's acting kind of crazy, so I'm not so sure now. I know the battery's bound to be bad, but I don't know if it's what's really the whole problem. So now let me get down here, and I'm going to take the camera so I can show the screen. And I've got things tangled up here. I should have replaced these rubber bands on this thing. The rubber bands hold everything. Gotta unplug that and get my cable loose. I'll just leave it unplugged for now. Okay, because I want to set my camera. My other camera I always just put behind me is aimed outside as my security camera now. And besides all that, I have it on a mic stand and I can put it behind me, but you know, I have to be able to back out, get up, you know, have to be behind me far enough that I can. Confused about how I need to do this. So sorry, bear with me here. This little stand here is such a wobbly, floppy tripod that you just can't handle it without going everywhere. I can't. But what I can do is set it on my, I can set it on my keyboard, and usually it does better than that. Why is it so crooked? I guess I can just lean it there. And I can aim it at the monitor. And you're seeing, you know, my preview screen there now. See, I still want to use camera. Can't do remote desktop to that. Well, I might be able to, but you just remembered I might be able to do remote desktop. But I want to hurry up and get in the machine before it decides to crash or something. Okay, so that's cool. Normally, that VGA on top of well, no, in other news, the VGA cable is just about gone that I've got plugged into that laptop, the one from my KVM switch, and it's usually always pink, but I guess it's twisted just the right way. It's actually showing the right colors. It's cutting off some of the text, but I don't think I even can fix that in the command line anyway. So I'm going to log in as my regular user. Let me get a drink. And now this is, see, the screen on the laptop's broken, but the VGA output works just fine. And that's what you're looking at now is the screen, my monitor. I just switched the KVM switch over to that machine. I have to keep kind of adjusting it here and there to get it right. Yeah, I can't show the whole screen because I either have to be too far back or too close, the way I'm set up here, to try to put a camera pointed at my monitor. Let me get logged in here. Okay, if that worked, which I think it did. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to type StartX. Hit enter, and that will start up. I can't remember if I need to do it seems like it worked in Dawn and not in root, or the other way around. Looks like it said couldn't do it. Let's see. Home Dawn server auth 3 does not exist. Okay, so I don't have something set up right for X11 to run in regular users, but it will run as root, so we'll just do that. Oh, let's see. I don't know. I'll do this. SU. There we go. I'm in a terminal. I usually log into whichever root user I want. You know, like I would have just logged in as root, but you can do it this way too. So I'm logging as Dom, but I got root privileges now. I think it's going to work this time. Yep, beginning to. Been a long time since it's just been running along just fine for months and months, and then all of a sudden, it's been about 2 weeks I think since I left that thing just sitting there, not you plugged into the charger but not running. I've just been, but it makes it too darn hot in here. The noise is not real bad from that machine with the video card out, but it is a bit of noise. Like when I'm asleep, this is my bedroom, so when I'm asleep, if I turn over towards it, it's I can hear it good. I'm trying to go to sleep. It's a bit of bothersome, but it gets hot sometimes. Really hot. 79.2 degrees in here right now, and it's been really hot outside, 100 plus every day, and so the air conditioner ran a lot, and I was fine. But boy, when it gets down at night, like it's been getting down to about 70. This is September 19th now. I just noticed a while ago. I looked on my camera out the window, and it was leaves had fallen in the front yard, so the trees are beginning to know what time of year it is. Okay, so we're in the graphic desktop. I'm just going to leave that camera where it is, and I'll open up. Let's see, is my mouse working? Sometimes the the battery. There we go. It just crashed. I just saw the battery showed. It just either crashed or rebooted. No, it just the desktop acting funny. I thought the machine had crashed. So yeah, the battery, the mouse ain't working, but a lot of times that's the KVM switch, and I'll just switch back to a different machine, like my main machine, and get the mouse working, and then go back to that machine, and it should be okay. A KVM switch is a good one. I paid $100 for it about 18 years ago or something like that, and it is a little worn, but it works. So come on, mouse. Why isn't the mouse working? I don't even see it in the screen anywhere. Video working and the mouse is not working. Now we're connected to Wi-Fi. Maybe it hasn't finished booting up the, finished loading the whole desktop yet was what the problem was. Maybe loading slow, because it's just a dual core with 2 gig of RAM, and it's Fedora 29 server with Mate desktop on it. So I don't understand that. I don't show a mouse at all. I don't suppose I messed up the USB cable at some point. To get to that, I'll have to move this camera and do all kinds of crazy things. Let's see. But it could be. It's the only thing I can think of. The light's on the mouse, and it's looking like it should be working. But it ain't working. Oh yeah, there's 2 screens. Maybe I'm just not getting it over. You have to move it far enough the right direction when you got 2 screens. That might be my problem. Move it to the left over and over, and then move it to the right over and over. I think that's what it is I've lost the mouse. Just remembered all that. Come on. The I can't see it up there on the laptop screen. Oh wait. Oh. I looked at my preview and I saw a mouse pointer, but it was a mouse pointer on the laptop on my preview. really don't know what to do. I don't think there is a problem with the mouse. I think I just lost it. I don't actually know. I'm moving it in big circles and right and left. But I should, as much as I'm moving it, I should see something moving around on the laptop screen, but I don't. Well, let's try it again. I have a feeling I better check where it's plugged into the laptop. I ain't gonna be able to get up there without just going in and move. I gotta shove the keyboard tray in. So we'll just take the camera with us. Yeah, it's plugged in just fine. I'm just gonna unplug it. Oh, I bumped that. Oh, it went back. See, I bumped that. See if it fixed it. I bumped the video cable and it went purple for a minute. I think I'll unplug it and plug it into the other USB port. I don't think that's the problem, but okay, I don't know what making this thing act crazy. That's not a problem I remember having more than just having to, maybe I just didn't get a good, maybe the KVM switch is really the problem. So we'll go ahead and try that again. Okay. Now you can see the mouse just moving around on my preview there on my main machine. Now let's put it back over there. Always some silly thing that has nothing to do with what you're trying to get done. I remember that I do have two screens. But you know, you can't, I don't know. That's one thing I don't really know. Oh, did I just see something happen? That's one thing that I don't know how to access too well on the keyboard, or I would just do it that way. Assuming it's working. But let's see. I don't think that it's, the light is on, and usually the light's not on when the mouse is not working. I don't think it's a problem with the mouse. I think it's lost somewhere. I don't think it would be stuck or anything. Oh, I saw it. I saw it move down there by the desktop selector. Maybe I'm moving it too fast and too far. There, I saw it do it. So it's down there in that area. Okay, it is working, but you can't see the mouse. Never seen that before. Not seeing the pointer. I'm gonna try the, oh, there we go, battery. Ah, I just moved it that direction just to see if I could. Unknown time remaining. See, it highlighted it. You can't see that. I have to move my camera to where you can see it. All I have to go by is my preview. Anyway, I'm going to click on it, see if I can get that battery app to open up. There. My preview is way behind me, like 20 seconds or more. So it's hard to work with that. And when that app comes up, I don't think it's running well. I think it's... I do know that a dual core with 2 gig of RAM does not run well. Starting with about Fedora 19 or so, it was getting really sluggish. And actually, around Fedora 23, it got a little better. They began to streamline the desktop a little more, the Mate desktop. It can't run Mate. I don't like Genome 3, but it can't run it. I like Genome 2, which is what Mate is built on. But I'm not seeing I bet the little app opened up on the wrong screen. I can't see it, but I bet you, I know that's where it is. What I need to do is see if I can get over here to the left side, and I'm just going to leave my camera kind of in the middle. Well, let's see. There. I'll leave it. I'll try to put it where I'm at. Okay. If I go all the way up to the top, not being able to see the mouse is just crazy. I mean, I would just reboot the machine, but you know what's going to happen. It's not going to boot back up. So I do see that. I want to see the exact information about the battery is what I want to see. Let me try a keyboard. Let's see if my sound's still working and everything. Yeah, my stream's still okay. All right, now let's see. I do know how to get. Let's see. It's either going to be Alt Tab, Tab, Alt Tab, Control Tab. No. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try Home. If I get it to see. No, I can't get it to go up there by the keyboard. With that broken screen, I can't even see. Well, without being able to see where my mouse is. This is crazy. Well, I'll try. The only other idea I've got this wireless mouse on my laptop, and you can plug and unplug it. You know, it'll still keep working. It'll work, and I can plug it back in, and it'll work again. So I might as well grab the camera here while I'm doing it, because I have to shove my keyboard back in. Okay, so number one thing, don't drop this down in the abyss back there. But I'll just, yeah, I'll leave that plugged. No, let's unplug it. Plug it in over here. See if that fixed it first. I think there's something that the desktop is just not working right, the Mate desktop. Okay, so we'll, it may not be something that this will have anything to do with helping. Okay, I got it plugged in there. I can't tell what I'm showing you. See if the mouse shows up now. It's worth a try anyway. Get that little wireless. This is the one I was using. It's wired. It goes through my KB. Oh, I saw the mouse on the screen. Using the wireless one now. I think it's just. I think it's working but not showing, and that's weird on either one of them. Very, very weird. What I did a minute ago, when I found there, if I can find the at the bottom right there, you see I can see that it's highlighting the desktops. And then I went up to the top. Actually, yeah. See, I made it to the top. Battery. I want the output sound, I think it was. I want the too far now, I think. I want the monitor, that little picture of a monitor. Ethernet, battery. Configure display. There we go. Oh, I've never seen this one before. This is different. Normal, on. I don't want it. Yeah, same output in both monitors. Why am I losing my? That's what I want. That's right there. Okay. Now, if that works, at least we'll be able to see. Oh, the mouse is working now. I think it might. Well, but the battery information never did open up. Okay, let's get the keyboard back out and set this down so it won't be wobbly. I don't normally mess with the GUI much at all on this, since once I got it set up, I thought I might need it to. I don't know why this phone is leaning so far. Okay, there we go. Now, let's go ahead and click on the battery thing. Last time I tried to click on unknown time remaining and it didn't open it up, so let's try clicking where it says Sanyo. That's the name of the brand of the battery, evidently. There we go. Now, it's not too bad. There. Okay. The battery. I've got to look around this phone. Okay, so battery supply, yes, discharging. Oh, there's more at the top. Yeah, okay. Energy when full, energy design, voltage 9.7. That may be actually a sign of a problem. I always thought to charge a laptop battery, most all of them, because I tried to, you need 19 volts, 19 or 20 volts, 19 to 21 volts, depending on the battery. So the battery should be running at around 18 or 19 volts, and that's 9.7 volts. See, it says capacity, 51.6%. Yeah, so that's not why it's not booting up right then. This is what I went through all this junk to find this out, get to this point. I forgot when it first started giving me trouble, I messed with it, connecting to it remotely with Cockpit and all that stuff, over the web browser, and I was not thinking it should be more than 51% since it's been charged for 2 weeks, but obviously it's not in good shape. But if it's only got 9.7 volts, it could be so that is the bottom just about the bottom threshold, once it gets down below that. Of course, it shouldn't really be. Why is it discharging? The AC adapter not working? Yeah, it's on AC power. Yeah. Usually they don't say they're discharging, they say they're charging when they're plugged in. It's probably the battery. It's probably just about gone, I don't know for sure what the battery. Let's see, I took a bunch of screenshots. I took some pictures of the battery with one of the phones. So let's get over here on the other. Since it's running, I'm kind of afraid it'll crash. I don't want my website going down at all if I can help it, but with the heat and me running right now I'm running 2 laptops and my main machine and the red-black Battlestar. I would really like to turn the red-black Battlestar off. So I could just go on my machine and look at the mouse. That's just mouse info and then processor info. It doesn't show anything though, does it? It's not, seems like it can't tell you anything about it. So, yeah, I see. So I'm back on the battery. History, charge, time to full, it doesn't know. Time to empty, it doesn't know. Either that or it's taking a while to, maybe because it hasn't been running long enough. Rate. So the details is the best thing for me to look at. Yeah, 9.7 volts just doesn't seem like that's enough. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Yeah, see with it having been charged for, I think it's been 2 weeks and not even being running. Normally it stays at 100% all the time. It did. So, yeah, I guess I was thinking that it was going to be, you know, like at the most 10% or something battery left in it, and that was what was wrong. But maybe it, well, the voltage at 9.7 volts, that don't seem good at all. So let's go back over here to my main machine and get on it. Put my camera, let's put the camera up here on the, back on the laptop, I guess. Oh. And I think I'm going to do what I was thinking. Oh, let's get that. We don't need that. Put that back in the other machine. I'll be going nuts going, why doesn't the mouse work? Okay, let's see if the regular mouse works. Can't see it over there, but I'm thinking it probably does. Oh, I'm not on that machine. It won't work on that machine because I'm not on that machine. All right, now let me get on the desktop, get a drink. And those pictures I have of the battery, what did I do with them? That is my video, my backup video I'm making, and my little test video I made before. I don't have a folder for the Acer laptop, so no. Using the keyboard, trying to do it fast, and there. Yeah, battery. Now, this is the battery with it out. Guard A31. That's the quickest way to find one of those too. What's that? Okay, that's something to do with the settings of the router. Oh, here we go. It's right there on the very first one. The rating is 10.8 volts. So this one probably doesn't need 19 volts to charge it. I don't know what it says on the charger. Can I see that thing? It's sitting right down here. It's sitting on my desk. Let's see if I can. Oh, it sure is warm. Okay, I don't want to make it unplug. I think it's all the text is upside down. It's a 19 volt charger at 3.42 amps. So I don't know why they're 19. You don't need 19 volts to charge something to 10 volts, but normally. I never really paid much attention to all that, except for when I had to try to get something to work with laptops. So I didn't have, well, I guess I've had laptops for quite a few years now, but I still don't use them much because the screens are too small for me to be able to see. Um, I use that Dell 6000 to make sure my streams are still running. You know, but all I have to do is glance over there and see that it shows a green line, and then and well, sometimes I kind of use it to aim the camera. But I'm just looking through these other screenshots. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about with the dual. See, the right side. This is a screenshot off the Acer laptop. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, this is the same situation. The right side is the VGA output, and the left side is the laptop monitor. Yeah, I know it's the Acer laptop because it was the last time I was trying to figure that stuff out. SE Linux alert. Or is it? Could be a different laptop. Well, it's in the Acer folder. Yeah, so that's what it is. But anyway, so 9.7 volts is, I guess, too low to make it work right. So I guess I can say I didn't want to spend 20. The thing is old and beat up. I got it for free, so I can't lose money on it. But I don't want. Well, you can if you buy something that doesn't fix it. I didn't want to buy it. I already bought that power supply for it. It didn't have a power supply, but I only spent $10 bucks or $15 on it. I think it was, under $10. And that's been well worth it now. I didn't have for years. 2 or 3 years it sat under my bed and I didn't touch it because I didn't want to buy a screen for it. And actually I think I might have took the hard drive that was in it and put it in the Dell 1525. The Dell 1525 and this Acer laptop I got. A buddy of mine, somebody left him in the laundromat in his apartments where he lived with a sign, in a box that said, "Take these if you want them. They're broke or whatever." But anyway, I knew about computers, and so I ended up getting the Dell 1525 was faster and in better shape, so I got it going. It didn't have a broken screen. Had broken hinges, but I fixed them. Okay, now what are we looking at? Oh yeah, okay. So we'll leave that. Leave that like it is. Okay. So I think it might be the battery. I'll close that so the machine doesn't work too hard. I have to watch how hard I push this machine. I'm going to go ahead and point my. Did it quit? Or did the screen just go to sleep? It may have just quit. Get up there and look. Just as I was getting ready to go to it, I think it shut down. Let's go ahead and... The screen stays on all the time, and normally I have to put magazines up in front of it to keep it from driving me crazy. I'll get on it with the... No? Oh, it went to sleep because I've got the desktop running. When it's just in the command line, it never goes to sleep. But it's going to sleep because Mate is putting it to sleep, Mate desktop. Well, that's fine. I don't mind it going to sleep. That's all right. Let's see. I'm looking at the displays, power management, yeah. Put it up in that corner there where you can kind of see what I'm doing. Oh, display to sleep in 10 minutes. Laptop is lit, do nothing. Computer to sleep, never. I see. Dim display. I'm going to say never because that scared the heck out of me. I want to know whether or not the thing's running. Put the computer to sleep when inactive for never. When the laptop is closed, do nothing. It's still closed. It still goes to sleep. Well, you know what? Does it when it's in the command line. Maybe this would work. I would like to be able to, if it didn't get overheat, I'd like to be able to shut the lid and leave it shut, Oh, and what's this? On battery. Oh, and I put it, since the battery was pretty old, I put the display to sleep in 5 minutes and do all that stuff. When the battery is critically low, hibernate. Probably should say shut down. Well, I thought maybe it would. I thought maybe this might work when it's running in the terminal mode too, but I don't think all this does. I know when you shut the lid, it'll go to sleep in terminal mode anyway. Let's see. I only show this display option with, the back. When the power button is pressed, ask me. When the suspend button is pressed, suspend. I don't know what the suspend button is on that thing. I'm going to say do nothing because I don't know what that is. I don't know what button it is on that thing. I know what it is on my big keyboard. Yeah, let's leave it like that. But I did change it to don't put the display to sleep. This is on AC power, so that way I'll know for sure that it's still on. I can just, right now it's not bothering me because it's daytime and it's brighted here. Okay, so yeah, the mouse is working like it should now. Now that I changed it to, I think it was just lost between the two on the others. Well, it's kind of weird because it was working, but I couldn't see the pointer. That's some kind of a bug, I think. But I've never seen that before, and I've used it a lot. That's one thing I do with laptops is I usually just put the VGA cable in them, plug in my VGA cable going to my KVM switch and my USB cable, and then I control them from my KVM switch, from my regular keyboard and my regular mouse. Same mouse and same keyboard on all up to 4 machines. And so that's what I usually do with laptops and look at them on my big monitor. So that's something I'm really used to doing. I've never seen it do what it was doing earlier, other than me losing. When you have two displays, it's easy to lose the mouse over in the other one you can't see. But usually you just move it around enough, you'll see it. But I got it over there where it was controlling, the big monitor, controlling where I could see it in the big monitor controlling things, but I couldn't see the pointer. Really weird. Don't remember ever seeing that happen. Okay, back to my desktop. Get on my router. I should have probably checked its IP while I was over there. I can't remember its IP. I'm gonna have to. Here, I think I can find it from here. I think it'll say, yeah, Acer right there. So, and you can't read it. This stupid D-Link router page won't show up. 182 there. Okay. 192.168.0.182. I just need to know the IP address because I'm going to go ahead and forward it to the. Let's see. System admin. Oh, no, it's not that. It's in features. Port forwarding. There we go. Now, I want Bishop Co. to go to, right now it's going to 117, which is the red black BioStar. I call it that because it's got the red lights in the black case. And see, I can just paste that in there. Apply, and then you still have to hit save. Now I got to do virtual server too, 182. Okay. Oh, and there I can just select 182. Oh, that's a different port. I'm not using those HTTPS because I get those. I'm not going to go pay VeriSign for a freaking key. I've got them made. They're on the machine, but they're not considered authoritative or whatever. Authoritative. Not they're not owned by VeriSign or any of those other companies that charge you to do that. So you get Firefox gives, oh, this page may not be safe warning. So I'll just only open port 80 and then be better off. My web page will show up better that way. Okay, now let's go make sure. Go to my website. Okay, seems to be just fine. Let's go ahead and go to my other pages. Okay, that should be good. Okay. All right. Now, what's the other thing I need to do? I'll leave it like that. Oh, I need to turn off the machine that's making me. It's 80.6. It was 0.8 a while ago. That's just a little bit, but 80 and, over 80.5 degrees. So now I can turn off the. And it's still running up there. So now I can turn this machine off and bask in some much cooler air for a while here. At least for a while. This machine, see, I can just hold it in until it shuts down. I can't. What it is it has onboard video, but but it won't work unless you do some changes in the setup. You know, the etc x11 config file, and I just didn't want to do it because I've got the video. I figured by the, I can't remember. I used to have to, you know, it's been years since I've messed with Fedora 14, so I can't remember exactly how to do it. I have to go watch one of my old videos or do some research or do something. And that screen went to sleep again, but it is running. Probably had to reboot before those settings I did would take effect or something on that, to that effect, I'll bet you. Oh, come on. It's not, seems to be, sorry. When I moved my box, I must have accidentally let it slide back some because it won't reach. That is really weird. The whole thing is gone. Cattywampus. The whole thing is gone to pot now. I've been putting new rubber bands on the rubber bands hold it in my tripod. I don't know what's happened here. My box is, I just moved it to the left. The box. I have a box back there. Well, you can see it. This box here. And that leg, you can't really, can you see where the leg is? No, you can't see that. But anyway, that's not what I was trying to show you. Anyway, there's rubber bands that hold the phone onto this thing. And two of them are so worn out that it just flops. That's why it's leaning left and right too much. That's why it's flopping down on me. Yeah. Okay. Usually all I do is leave it just like that, and I don't have any trouble. But if you're gonna pick it up and carry it around, and you don't want it flopping everywhere, then you gotta put some new rubber bands in it. Keep putting it off. All right, now. Well, as long as those three dots are blinking yellow on the laptop, I know it's running. Okay. If it goes down to 2, then it's off, or 1 sometimes. All right, now. Move the monitor by accident. Okay. Now that I've got that all set up there, I was thinking, oh, I might show what I'm fixing to talk about, the other laptop, but I won't do that. I won't do that to you. Okay, so what I think I'll do is trying to look and see how long this video is. Oh, it's almost an hour. Yeah, I think what I'll do is stop this video and start a new one, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that run, change the subject, and go get on the Dell 6000 laptop, which already has Domain 8 on it. I need to upgrade it, and I think it'll run Domain 10's out now, and I think it'll run Domain 10. Okay, hopefully, or if it doesn't, then I'll have to go back again, but I could go to probably to Domain 9. But Domain 8 is going to stop having, updates sometime this coming year. So I thought, well, I might as well put Domain 9 on it, as long as it'll at least see if it'll run. But what I decided was I'll just go ahead and put Apache web server on it, and get my website on it, and see how that does. And it's not as quiet as the Acer, and with it sitting over there close to my bed. Well, I'll talk about all that later. I'm just waving my hands around and talking about what you can't see. But anyway, I'm gonna get that up and going, and what I may even do once I get that up and going, I might, especially if I don't like it so much, I don't want to mess that one up, running it for a long, months for the next year or something, or whatever. Well, I want something I can leave for as long as I need to leave it, which I do have a Raspberry Pi B, the original Raspberry Pi B, 700 megahertz, 512 megabyte of RAM, which is not, it's not as much as I would want for my server. But you can put server, Debian, actually Debian 10, the Raspbian 10 evidently based on Debian 10 will evidently run on that thing. I don't know how well it'll run. I think I would have to, if I was going to do that, I'd have to just have no desktop, but that'd be fine for a server. But I don't want that laptop like that because I depend on it for my videos and everything, and I don't want it to just be, just a server. So, but I think maybe now I won't be so worried about ordering the battery. I really kind of hate to spend another, $20 on that when $20 could be going to something else like a video card for my new used server. But I've got a HP server that I bought for about $300, or right. I think it was right at $300. 2 6-core processor, 64 gig of RAM that I'm just dying to get working, up and going. Originally, I thought, well, I'll probably have to put it in the garage and use it remotely, but the garage is too hot in the summer. I've run enough computers out there and left them running. I've ran backup. I've had I have machines out there that I'll turn on as my backup servers. A 350 megahertz Dell gateway and a 500 megahertz gateway. And over the years, the heat has just about destroyed those things. They won't even run right anymore. They're running like Debian 6 and 7 or something like that. And it's 2 routers have died out there. So to have internet out there, I'd use a wireless router, set it up as a wireless repeater for the one in here, and then I can just plug regular machines into the Ethernet ports on it. It works great. But they between probably the heat and the cold, cold in the winter, heat in the summer, I think the heat does more to them than the cold does. And I didn't always, if I'm not using anything out there, I just turn them off. But if I'm out there, usually, but if I was running a server, it has to stay on. And in the hot summer, when it gets to be 100, in the last couple of years, we've had lots of 110, 112 days, in the summer. This year we didn't. I think the hottest day might have been 104 or something, maybe 105. I didn't get out this year, so I didn't get to experience that fun. So anyway, that's what I'll do. I'm going to stop this, kind of take a little break, and get ready to work on the laptop. I can do that on a remote desktop, so that'll be all right. All right. I'll come back in a little while.